It should be in the right one now. I really hope so. Let's see. Yes, okay. All right, very good. So sorry about that. So the Alex Murdaugh trial, they finally were able to seat the 12 jurors, the 6 alternates, and so they had just enough time to start the opening arguments. And this is going to be some trial because you have the prosecutors who have a tremendous team of people trying this case, and then you have a very a showman type of defense attorney who has already told the jury, you may not like me or what I do. I may be abrupt at times, but that's me. Please don't hold it against my client, Alex Murdaugh. And I'm going to tell you now, because for the people that come in and go like this, his last name is pronounced Murdoch, like Doc, okay? His own lawyer says it the way I do, and even addressed the 2 different ways that people say his last name. His own lawyer calls him Murdaugh. And he said, he made like a little reference that the prosecution says Murdoch. So that'll be the end of that. If his own attorney is going to call him Murdaugh, that's what I'm going to do. So there. And as for his first name, Alex, and then wanting to call him Alec, that doesn't even make any sense. That's like me with my name Carolyn saying, why are you saying Carolyn? I want it to be pronounced Karen. It's stupid, okay? So if you want your name to be pronounced Alec, then add the C and take away the X. That's just insane. Yeah, they did call him Alec. I thought that was hysterical, Barb. Okay? So his name is Richard Alexander Murdaugh. You do not pronounce Murdaugh Murdoch. How does that doesn't even make sense. So, yeah, so I you know what? That you'll have to live with it with me. How many people do you know that keep pronouncing the Russek's name Ruchek? They say Ruchek all the time instead of Rusek. All the time. Right? That's freaking annoying. The name is Rusek.
I've heard Rusek too.
Yeah, that's their name. Not Ruchek or the Ruchiks. Okay. But, and then these are the people that are coming and telling me it's Murdoch. Okay? All right. So I just want to clear that up, because every single day, you don't know, I get a comment about that their last name is pronounced Murdoch.
Yeah, GH is not CK.
Okay? It's not even, it's different if you have the name Bry, Brey, and someone could say Bray or Bry. Yes, you can pronounce it both ways. Just telling you. Okay, Kevin's like, the Zoom. Okay, I'll fix the Zoom if it happens. Anyway, I just wanted to address that, Kevin, because I get at least 1 or 2 comments on that every single day. And if he's going to use the spelling Alex, that is not Alec. You can't even try to make that Alec. So he's going to be Alex. And if you're not good with that, then I don't know what to tell you. All right. So anyway, the prosecution starts. The district attorney starts his arguments, and he says, let me see, where did I put my stuff here? That, where did I put my stuff? Oh, here we go. They talk a lot about the oath. Both lawyers talk about the oath and the importance of this oath that these jurors are taking, okay? And it's the state's burden, of course, to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Alex Murdaugh is guilty. And he says the emphasis is on reasonable. It doesn't mean that there's not any doubt, but just not a doubt, a reasonable doubt that would really cause the person to pause there. He talks about the charges, that it's murder for Maggie, murder for Paul, and then the possession of the firearm for each of them. And that murder requires malice and afterthought, so forethought. And then what else he else saying? He says they talk about circumstantial evidence and not being as good, but it's just as good as direct evidence. And what he did was he said, imagine you go into a room, and most attorneys use this analogy. He used it a little different. Most attorneys will say circumstantial evidence is like you go into a room, it has no windows, and it's bright sunlight when you walk in that room, and when you get out of that room, they tell you there's either snow all over the ground or rain, but there's nothing falling from the sky. And so you can clearly say that even though you didn't see it rain or snow, you can say it snowed while you were in that room or it rained, right? But he did something else. He said you go into the room and you can see like maybe some flashes of light, and you can hear thunder, and you can hear water hitting the roof, and you can hear the wind, and you can hear, something that sounds like a tree falling on the roof. And then you go outside after you're out of that room, and you see broken tree limbs, and you see water all over the place, and looks like a storm has passed through, but you didn't see it. But could that mean that somebody came and threw those sticks in the street? Somebody had a hose and was hosing down the, roof? It could. That could have, let's just say, the crazy chance that did, but that's what he was saying. So he run really into that to tell them about circumstantial evidence, because this case has a lot of circumstantial evidence. The defense will tell you it doesn't have any forensic evidence, just circumstantial evidence. But the prosecutor kept saying that thing that you carry in your pocket, the phone, is what's going to place Alex where he shouldn't have been. And there's going to be videos on Snapchat that's going to put Alex there minutes before they were killed. So he says you're going to see recorded statements from Alex. You're going to see the body cam at the crime scene. I want you to listen to what he says. The circumstantial evidence is just as good as direct evidence. And he says he killed Maggie with a family weapon. Okay, they have a lot of guns. They have these AR guns, which he said the ammo is going to be the same, the shotgun shells. They have buckshot, and it is a family weapon. Takes the same ammo as that's all over that farm. He talks about Murdaugh's father dying 2 days later, and his mother with the late stage Alzheimer's, and let's see, that somebody's going to be a witness that he was carrying a blue tarp upstairs to his mother's house, and in that blue tarp is a wadded up raincoat that has gun residue just all over the inside of the raincoat, kind of saying that it was worn inside out on him. Mm-hmm. And let's see what else they said. He said that you'll hear about gunshot residue on the seatbelt and on him. And a key piece of forensic evidence is that Alex, Maggie, Paul's cell phones, that's going to be their forensic evidence. He said these cell phones track us everywhere we go. And he talked about the Mazzell property being a very large property. It has an airstrip, but he said there's only about 1/3 of a mile that separates the main house from the kennels. And he says you can see the kennels from the house. And that the family had a beach house in Edisto, on Edisto Island. And the parents have Alex's parents have a place in Alameda. And let's see what he said. So on the night of the 7th, the fateful night when Maggie and Paul were both killed, that Maggie went from Edisto to the Moselle property, and they ate dinner. She supposedly all three of them is what the prosecution is saying, that they ate dinner, and that Paul and Maggie, with the autopsy, will show you that that's true, that they ate dinner. Their stomach contents is the same, and this is about 8:15 that they were eating dinner. And then there's the the phone moves to the kennels. And Paul records a video on Snapchat. And this is the video they were arguing about whether they were going to get it in or not. Well, apparently they got it in. And Paul records this video, and he's sending it to a friend, and he's talking about a dog that's the friend's dog that's in the kennel, about something about the dog. And you can hear that the prosecution says clearly here that Paul's on that video, Maggie's on that video, and Alex is on that video. Literally minutes before Paul is killed. Okay? And then 3 minutes later, Paul's phone locks, that's the son, for the last time. And it locks forever, they said. And then you have Alex's phone not having much activity at all between the hours of 8:09 and 9:02. And at 9:02, he starts moving around. At 9:04, he's calling Maggie. Okay, the call fails. At 9:06, he calls Maggie again. Then he texts her. Then he says he has to go check his mom. He sends a text, I have to go check my mom at 9:06. I have to go to my mom's. So that gets him to go to his mom's. And they say while he's going to his mom, somehow he is trying to talk to people there. Is he trying to create his alibis is what they're saying. And he gets back at Moselle at 9:44. Okay, and that's when he discovers that someone has killed his family, calls 911. Now, when they come, which I don't understand, he apparently has a shotgun in his hand, and the defense explains that as, well, he's numb, and he doesn't even really know he's got a shot. I know how it looks, but he doesn't even know he's got a shotgun in his hands, but it's not unusual that he would have a shotgun in his hands. They actually have a gun room in their house, and they have guns all over the place. So maybe, I think what the defense is going to try to say, he was scared. He didn't know who killed his family. Of course he's going to have a shotgun in his hand, right? So, let's see where I was with my defense over here. Okay, and I had to move around in my notebooks, excuse me, so let's see. He's got he doesn't have a public defender. His attorney, one of the first things his attorney said was how honored he is to represent Alex Murdaugh. And that's when he talked about how some people pronounce the last name Murdaugh. Okay? And let's see. But he's very honored to represent Alex. And he says that there is no forensic evidence, no fingerprints, that this man didn't even have blood on him, he says. He says the way that Paul was killed, and he keeps saying this, and I keep looking at Alex's face because they put Alex front and center so you can see his face. And when he describes Paul being killed, he describes it so graphically that the first bullet enters here, comes out of his arm, but then he says the second bullet enters, and from here it enters, I believe it's under his chin, and it goes through the top of his head. And he said the gases, is what he said, the gas from the gunshot blew his head off like a watermelon, he said. And his brain went up and came down and was at his feet. And he blew his entire head off. He keeps saying this. And all that was left was his face. The rest of his head was gone. He goes, and when Alex came in there and saw him, his brain was at his feet. And how could he even think, if he goes over to check for signs of life, that his son was okay, because his brains were at his feet. And he kept saying it over and over and over again about how this kid's head was blown off. And how could this father do this? How could you even think a father could do this to their son? And what he mentions is another video, and he says how loving this family was. You will not find, I'm going by memory because I don't want to waste time looking for my notes, how loving this family is, that you won't find anything, that they were not a loving family, that they didn't have a a loving life, a very loving family. They loved each other. And this video, there's a video, he says, that you will see hours before where Paul again is doing a Snapchat video, and he's joking with his father about some trees that were planted, and I guess whoever planted them in a weird way, and they were making fun and they were laughing, and he's like, what kind of dad is going to be laughing and fooling around with his son a few hours before he blows his brain out of his head? He kept saying it like that. And Alex had more emotion, like looked at when he mentioned Maggie's death. He said Maggie was running when she was shot the first time. Maggie was shot twice. When she was shot the first time, she was running. And then he said, then she was shot in the back of the head, execution style, and it was with a different weapon. Okay? She was shot with the AR style gun. Now, he also says that Alex bought Buster, the older boy, and Paul those AR style guns, but Paul lost his, so he left it in the back of someone's car or something, and he said, so Alex bought him another one. And what I think they're going to do, because then he said Paul was not responsible. He left guns all over the place. Okay, this is the defense attorney saying this. And he wasn't responsible with his thing. So I think they're going to try to say, even if it was one of Paul's guns or one of the family's guns, it could be that Paul just left it. He leaves it. Maybe somebody got it somehow. It doesn't mean that that Alex shot them with the guns. So he's setting that up for that. Paul being, he's very irresponsible, did a lot of things like that, and he left guns all over the place. So, and then reiterated that this is a gun house. They hunt deer, they hunt the pheasants. He doesn't even know what they are. What do they raise the sunflowers for? The quail. And so he talks about that's nothing unusual that they have the guns. And what else did he say here? Let me see. I don't know why. I don't even know why I have to get another notebook and just so it's all together. I tried to save space and then I don't know what I did. But he again said, if I am abrupt and if you don't like me, please don't take that out on Alex. Alex, he doesn't have to give a different, he just has to cast, reasonable doubt, give them reasonable doubt. And he tells them that there's no way that Alex did this. He's an innocent man, and you must, let's see, here I have some of my notes. This is about justice. And he talks again about the oath, and you cannot convict him because there's no direct evidence. And let's see what else he said. He said that the prosecution has a lot of smoke. They created a lot of smoke and suspicion. But wife dead, he's got the shotgun. He said they're just going off of just creating suspicion by that, but it's not really that crazy. And what did he say? Let's see here. Here we go. Maggie used her phone at 8:54, 9:06. Alex is in the car. This is what they said. How in the world did he do all this if Maggie's phone was used at 8:54 and Alex is in the car at 9:06 going to see his mother? He had to shoot both of them. Then he had to remove all the bloody clothing, which has never been found. And he said it would have been a bloodbath the way Paul's head was shot off. He would have been covered in blood, he said. He would have been saturated in blood. And it was at very close range. That was the other thing. It was at close range. And even the prosecutor said, and I forget, we just talked about this somewhere. As soon as he said this, I remember this, that it's almost like a tattoo. It's at such close range when the bullet fires. It leaves almost like a tattoo mark to show you just how close range it was. So this person, whoever shot them, would have been covered in blood. And let's see. And he goes, and really, are you kidding me? And he's going to be out there 8:54, and in about 10 minutes, he's in the car going to his mother's house all cleaned up. Come on. So this is what he's saying. And he said that that video they're showing on the Snapchat, I guess the prosecution is saying that they were arguing or something when you heard voices, but he says it's not arguing. That's Paul talking about how a dog attacked a chicken or something. And he goes, there was nothing wrong with that. And then after that, Paul is texting some girl. There's no animosity. And that Paul's texting a girl to go to the movies after that. And he said, is there one shooter or two? Let's see. Maggie's running. Why is Maggie running? What else did he say here? It's enough time for to kill Paul, ambush Maggie. This is what he's saying. He would never have enough time to do that. We don't have to prove he didn't do it, the defense said. He is presumed innocent. So if you're, let's see, I'm going to say, you have to presume he's innocent. That's fine. Any other... That's fine any other day. Okay, so he said, oh, here, this is what he said. He said, when you read the newspaper and you see that they say, oh, this happened and we got the guy, and you say, oh, thank goodness you got the guy, he's not around. You can't say that here. You just can't say because the police say we got our guy, because he said that Alex has been deemed guilty by the police. They didn't look for anybody else. They just judged him guilty because of what they went there and what they saw, and he had his wife and his son dead, and he had a shotgun in his hand, and so they said you're guilty. And so you can't do that because you took an oath and you're a juror this time. So you're not allowed to just say, okay, it's good, he's guilty. No, you have to judge him innocent right now, and then look at this evidence. He didn't do it. You took this oath. You know, you can't convict him. He's not guilty. And let's see if I put down anything else here. I think. He said that the prosecution, all they're doing is beating a round peg in a square hole. And, oh, I know what he said. If you notice inconsistencies in Alex's interviews and all the things they're going to show you, you have to understand that he was numb. He wasn't thinking. When you find out like something like this happens, you go numb. So that's why he may have said things he did and not, change things around, because he was in a state of shock. A state of shock is what he said. And there you won't find any forensics like blood or fingerprints. So you have to, those inconsistencies, or if he changed something, it's all because he was in a state of shock. And let's see. The gun room, they have a lot of guns. I told you about that. In 2007 is when Alex bought the Black Ops AR
Thank you, Rich.
rifles for the two boys, right? And then I told you that he left his along in someone's car, and he was very careless with his weapons. Yeah. And let's see. Family deep snumming. He grabs 12 gauge. Oh, he was so numb. Yeah. When he saw his family, and he's shaking, and I guess he's grabbing the shotgun in case somebody's on the property. And so he says that Alex is so shook up, and he's dealt with guns in his whole life. He is trying to shove the wrong ammunition into the shotgun. And so his lawyer is saying he's trying to put 16 gauge in a 12 gauge shotgun. That's how shook up he is. And let's see. What else did he say? We got more here. Paul Murdaugh shot 2 times in the chest, came out under his arm, had his arms up, he said. Second shot enters his skull cavity. Let's see, I told you all about that. Running, what happened? Went cars records. Maggie's phone. Oh, Maggie's phone is thrown out a half a mile from Moselle, and Alex gave the code to the phone. Well, even if she didn't give the code to the phone, they'd still be able to open it up. But I guess he's trying to say Alex is such a nice guy. And what's more believable is you come home and you see your wife and son butchered with their brains laying at their feet, and his wife has no pulse, that he calls 911 and he's hysterical, and his grief, and it's not unusual to call, what do you say? 911 call, you'll see he's hysterical with grief. Unusual to call on property. Oh, yeah, because the prosecution was saying, why was he texting Maggie? Like, was he trying to create an alibi? Why was he trying to text her if she was really in the house and he was going to see his mother? And the defense was saying it's not unusual. That's a big property, and it gets, a much longer walk than what the prosecution's saying. So they called each other all the time from the phones when they were on the property. That's not the least bit unusual. Let's see what he said there. He said that the prosecution's going to bring in expert witnesses to explain the catastrophic head explosion. Oh, the defense is going to bring in these witnesses to explain again about Paul's head, the catastrophic way that Paul's head exploded, and the person that shot him would have been covered in blood. See. Let's see what else we have here. So I think that's most of what, and then they stopped them. Yeah, they couldn't go. So the first witness is 9:30 tomorrow morning. Court's in session, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, of course, and we'll look for the first witnesses. But I'll be following the trial. I'll have a new notebook. I promise I'll have a new notebook. So I won't be skipping around like this. Sorry about that. But yeah, it was crazy. Let me look at some of your comments here, what you're saying if you watched here. Rich says, hi, I've been listening, but I have different work hours now. Keep up the great work. A leader in the true crime community. Stay above the sea of drama, peace, and love. Thank you, Rich. Well, hope you can watch us on replays. I'm sorry that... We'll try to be on earlier. I'll try to be on earlier with the trial stuff. It was just because we had an auction. I'll try to come in at 10:30 at the latest to do the recaps of the days of the trial, okay? All right. Maybe then you'll be able to make it. Let me see. Barb, you said, I think he's trying to traumatize with saying had been blown off. Yeah. Hi, Angelique. How are you? Let's see. Hi, Gretchen Blue. What's the matter, Roman? Put you there. Thank you, Ann Rose. Okay. Yeah, I'll do better. I'll make sure I have a brand new notebook tomorrow. Thank you, Nicole, for being a member for 32 months. Best community on YouTube. Thank you. Okay, Janae. Does anybody have any questions? Or Elle says, I can't believe anybody. I don't know what motion they're going over tomorrow. They should be starting with their first witnesses tomorrow, Kevin. That's they may have some things to go over, but they will be calling their first witnesses tomorrow, the prosecution. And I don't know who they'll probably start with the first responders on the scene, but they do have quite a few people down as witnesses. There's a long list, and the judge is the same judge as in that Uber case where that young girl got into the wrong car and the guy killed her. Remember that case? Okay. You're not a no-show? A no-show? I missed what they said at the end of court. I thought they just said, we'll see you back here at 9:30 tomorrow and start. The trial has started once the opening arguments have started there. I don't know. Why do you think they said that they're going to go over motions tomorrow? I think they're going to start calling their first witnesses, the prosecution. Same judge as that Uber case. Yep. So, yeah, remember that case where the guy that killed her and then the guy went to his girlfriend's and he put her little daughter in the back of the car after he was cleaning at her apartment. Remember that? And the daughter got blood all over her shoes. It was so gross.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's the same judge in that, and he said a lot at the sentencing of that. He's a very good judge. Hello to Scooter. How are you? I thought you'd be in Zoom today. All right. Let me see.
To Scooter Chick. Hi, Mommy Ramblings blog and everyone. Hi, Scooter.
Trying to think here. You like the judge? Yeah, he's good. He's a good judge. Yep. Who said I like the judge, Kevin? Okay, and he's got. Oh, I know what I forgot to tell you. One of a reporter said that is covering this, and she was going around the town, and people in the town said he's going to get off. People in the town told the reporter he's going to get off. His name still has a lot of power around here, and he's going to get off. That's what she. Oh, and that they did say that Alex was saying on the cams and stuff that, oh my gosh, this is because of the boat crash. This is the boat crash, trying to make it seem that the prosecution was saying that this happened like retaliation for Paul's boat crash that killed Mallory Beach. Okay, so he was trying to put in everyone's head that someone came and did this, but the prosecution was saying, well, why would they have killed Maggie too? Why would they do that? Doesn't make sense. And yeah, what does Barb Olson say? What's the matter, Romy? Samantha. Yes, Samantha Josephson. Yes, exactly, Barb. Yes, Samantha Josephson. But what else? So I do want to see the cam when they get there, and I want to hear from the first responders on the scene. So I think we'll be hearing that tomorrow. Okay, let me see something over here now. Let's see. Over here.
She loves you, it's Pink.
Murdaugh called 911 the night of the murders to report that he'd found his wife and son shot at the family's home, but prosecutors accuse him of committing the murders to distract attention from the series of alleged illicit schemes he was running to stave off his personal, legal, and financial ruin. Evidence will show that Murdaugh alleged financial crimes were about to come to light when his wife and son were killed. You're going to hear some of what was going on in Alex Murdaugh's life leading up to that day, stuff that happened that very day, stuff that was leading up to a perfect storm that was gathering, said the lead prosecutor, Creighton Waters, in his opening statement. Listen for that evidence, he said. Listen to the gathering storm that all came to a head on June 7th, 2021, the day the evidence will show that he killed Maggie and Paul. But his defense attorney, Dick Harputalan, says the state's opening was filled with only theories and conjecture, and that his client, who appeared in court wearing a Navy sport coat, he looked so he lost so much weight, and he really looked very shook up. But then when the defense was then he was feeling a little bit, I think he felt a little more smug after the defense finished. Let's see. He, and Glasses was the loving father of Paul and the loving husband of Maggie. Not a single witness will tell the jury that Murdaugh and Maggie's relationship was anything but loving, said his attorney. And Paul, he said, was the apple of his father's eye, as exhibited in that Snapchat video where they're going to show the tree thing that he said, and they were joking, father and son, and bending over trees that were planted. Let's see. To find Alex Murdaugh guilty of murdering his son, you're going to have to accept that within an hour of that bonding video that he executes him in such a brutal fashion. Not believable. Let's see. So. Oh, and that the victims had no defensive wounds. Prosecutor said in his opening statement, Maggie's phone locked, I told you, 8:49, the night of the killings. And then he called her at 9:02 p.m. She didn't answer. He called her again just 4 minutes later at 9:06. And then he texted her at 9:06. And then he drove to Alameda to go see his mother. It's up to you, Waters said, to decide whether or not he's trying to manufacture alibis. The victims were shot at close range. They had no defensive wounds, as if they didn't see a threat coming from the attacker. Maggie was killed by a family weapon, an AR-style rifle that Murdaugh bought his son to replace another that went missing, and that replacement gun is nowhere to be found. Weeks before the murders, Paul and his friends fired the gun several times on the family's property at a shooting range across the street, leaving empty shells in the flower beds. And the prosecutor said all of this matches the casings that were found around Maggie's body. And while Alex told everyone that he wasn't present at the scene, the evidence will show that he was there. And he holds up the cell phone because of the cell phone. Right, let's see. Yeah, and the defense says, I want you to hear that 911 tape. It's a man, hysterical in grief, trying to figure out what's going on. Paul's head exploded. As injury, he suggested, would cover the perpetrator in blood from head to toe, particularly if the killer shot the 22-year-old young man at close range. And they never found any bloody clothes. And they took Murdaugh's clothes that night, and while they tested a number of spots, they found no blood, he said. He also offered a counter to the prosecution's description of the missing rifle, saying that Paul was very irresponsible. He'd leave guns around. He'd leave guns in cars. I can't tell you whether he was shot with his own weapon or not, or his mother was shot with his weapon or not, but I can tell you they were not shot by Alex. They don't have the guns. There's no way to tell conclusively without having the weapons. Ultimately, Harputilan said investigators concluded the night of the killings that Murdaugh was guilty, pointing to what he described as aggressive questioning, without forensics, without cell phones, without any of that. And they've been pounding that square peg into that round hole since those murders. He stressed that to the jury that a client is presumed innocent and it's the state's job to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. He said, your mental framework is he didn't do it. They have to prove it to me beyond a reasonable doubt.
Carolyn.
Yeah.
Liza says hello to everyone, and she also asks what's on your jumper. What you're wearing.
Oh, hi, Liza. Jimi Hendrix. Okay, so, and then, again, we'll watch what happens tomorrow here. Each family filed. Yeah. So, you should start with first witnesses there. Let's see. Let's see. What else we can do? This is a picture of the prosecutor, Creighton Waters. He said that Mr. Murdaugh gave 3 video recorded statements to the police, which will be played at trial, and he urged the jurors to watch them closely, watch his expressions, listen to what he's saying, listen to what he's not saying. Does this seem right, or does this seem a little off?
You're welcome, Liza.
The cell phone records would indicate that he would have less than 10 minutes to kill them. Get up to the house, get in the car, and crank it up. He kept saying, crank it up, because Mr. Harputolin said, because the car won't crank. Remember that? Yeah, so he just kept saying, he cranked up the car, he cranked up the car. But Harputolin says he would never have time to do this and get that blood off. He also said the white t-shirt Murdaugh was wearing had no blood on it. Where are the bloody clothes? Let's see what else. There's 8 women, 4 men on the jury, and of those 12, there is a school aide, a project manager, a letter carrier, a medical center employee, all of whose identities are being kept secret. Let's see what else we have here about this trial. Trial is expected to last 3 weeks, and so I don't know. Let's see what happens. I think it'll be a good one. So 9:30 tomorrow. Be watching that, and like I said, I'm going to go on earlier with the recaps. Hopefully, every night I've tried to get at the same time. It would be nice to do it at 10:30 every night. Except if there's something that's preempting that one night, but I think I want to keep doing it the same night, and we'll have more to talk about with the witnesses and how we think the trial's going. So I'm going to take a preliminary poll just by knowing what the town says, the defense attorney has it, see if you think he's going to get off. Okay, so let me see, guys. Let me take a poll. Let me do this right now. Okay, so do you think let's do Alex Murdaugh will be found not guilty? So it's now the question is, will he be found not guilty? Yes, you think he will be, the verdict will be not guilty, or no, you think the verdict will be guilty. So know which one you're voting for when you have that. And we'll see. And then we'll see every night we'll do the same poll and see how it changes or doesn't change.
Did he get the death penalty, Carolyn?
No, there's no death penalty on this case. Yes, the housekeeper died. Yeah, she died by falling, a trip and fall, but that's all being, she was exhumed. Oh, you're talking about Jimmy.
It's
What?
almost like a trick question almost because of all the rumors about the name of the family, right? Because you don't know.
Play the video. Oh, what are you talking about? Jimmy falling? It's being, he fell down the
Yes,
stairs
video.
years earlier. Oh, trip and fall down the stairs in the housekeeper? Okay. Well, let's see where they, right now, so. No, you don't think he's going to be, so majority of you are saying that he's going to be, 70% say he's going to be found guilty. Well, now 67% say he'll be found guilty. Let's see how many that changes. He can be charged. If he hired it out though. Hi, Christine.
It's like
The video, he seems
Carolyn was
confident.
saying, and that this name has a lot of connections and stuff. And if
Oh,
y'all are
yeah.
all familiar with cases that have names with connections like these, It's actually, like, it's so sad. I hate to even mention it on a live stream, but we all know how some of these cases go when they shouldn't go certain ways. Sometimes they do,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that's what I'm thinking, Gretchen. I think Gretchen's thinking the name is not so. Even his own family is trying to disassociate with him by changing
Oh,
the name
yeah.
of the law firm. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't think. I think they've already disassociated from him. So, I don't know. I don't think they want him back in the, and he can't ever practice law again. But I just don't even think they want him anywhere near them. I don't know. I think his family is not going to be anyone that's going to be pushing for this. I don't know. I think he's going to be found guilty. I just do.
I hope so.
I do too.
Is his mother still alive? I believe his mother is still alive, Barb, but just in the late stages of Alzheimer's. The dad died soon after. Yes, 2 or 3 days after.
So sad.
Yeah, just he said it like so many times about how his son's head was shot off.
That was barbaric, the way they described that.
That was the most eeriest part to
Oh,
the
and he
day
told
for
him,
me.
yeah, you're going to see all these pictures, and even though I've seen the pictures so many times, I can't even believe the poor jury's got to see those horrific pictures. Hi, Norma. You're trying to vote no, but the poll keeps pulling back, and the only one it will let me push is yes. Really? That's crazy, Norma. It's overkill by the defense. Let's see. So I don't know. Let's just see what else
Hello,
is going
Norma.
on in the other true crime
How are you?
going on. Okay, so who's this? Breaking police murder suspect in the case of, who's the murder suspect? I thought they were going to indict the mother and the wife. Let's see. Jacksonville Beach Police Department announced charges Wednesday in connection with the death of Microsoft business executive Jared Fritgan. Fritgan. What did he announce? I thought it was going to be the wife. Let's see. Henry Tenen, according to officials, has been arrested and charged with second-degree murder with a weapon, conspiracy to commit murder, child abuse, and accessory after the fact. The charges are all related to Brittigan's death, with the child abuse charge stemming from Brittigan's toddler daughter who was in the car with him when he was killed. Wow. Brittigan saw a rimmed tire in the road while driving back to St. Augustine on February 16, 2022. He stopped to check it out when an assailant shot him in the front of his child, Bexley, who was in the car for several minutes while her father passed away. The tire was purposely placed there to make him stop. His 2-year-old daughter remained strapped in the car. And that's away. And for several minutes, let's see. The incident happened after Brittigan dropped his twins off with his former wife, Shanna Gardner Fernandez, at her St. Johns County home. She has since moved from Florida to the Pacific Northwest. We know Henry Tenen did not act alone, Nelson said, adding that the conspiracy to commit murder charge is an important factor in the case. Wow, so I wonder if she's going to be the one that acted with him. Very interesting. Let's see what this is. Dad charged with fatal fire that killed his girl.
40-60 on the Poe now. 40-60.
Okay, so in the Vallow Daybell trial, the victim's family is asking the judge to reverse the ban on cameras in the courtroom. Okay, let's see. Let me see. Pull this over here. And let's see what this is about. Family members of the alleged victims in the murder trial of Chad and Lori Vallow Daybell want District Judge Stephen Boyce to reverse his decision to ban cameras in the courtroom. Attorneys for Vallow Daybell and prosecutors argued in favor of banning the cameras, although Daybell's attorney did not join them. Boyce made his ruling barring cameras in September, saying he was especially concerned with pretrial publicity, although his order also including the trial itself that is set to begin on April 3rd. I can't believe that's almost going to be here. But family members of J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan, the children of Vallow Daybell and Tammy Daybell, Chad Daybell's first wife, say the ruling will largely prevent them from watching the proceedings, especially since Boyce has already moved the trial, which is expected to last 10 weeks, 4.5 hours away, to Boise. This is unfair. I have total respect for this judge, J.J. Vallow's grandfather Larry Woodcock said. I admire him so far for how he's run his court, but I think that this was an ill-advised decision. I can understand that keeping cameras out in pretrial hearings, but when the trial starts and those jurors are picked, it's time for the public and families to be able to see that. The Daybells are accused of killing the two children and Daybell's first wife in 2021. They both have pled not guilty. Tylee Ryan's aunt, Annie Cushing, called banning cameras from the courtroom an egregious disservice to family members who can't carve out 2.5 months of their lives to attend the trial. We deserve to be able to watch the legal system finally hold Lori and Chad's feet to the flames for their callous disregard for these victims' lives, she said. I would respectfully ask Judge Boyce to please reconsider his decision on this matter. Tammy Daybell's elderly parents, Ron and Phyllis Douglas, are particularly inconvenienced because of their age and have asked prosecutors to provide them with video access to the trial. The Douglases live nearly 400 miles away from Boise, and other family members live all over the country. Prosecuting attorneys Rob Wood and Lindsay Blake, who argued against cameras in the courtroom, issued a statement saying they believe the court will work to balance all parties' rights to a fair trial and the neutrality and integrity of the jury process with the request of the victims' families for remote access to the proceedings. Let's see what happens there. Buttons. Oh, look at this. That school teacher that got shot. Administrators said not to search the 6-year-old because the school day was almost over. That's good. Let's see. A Virginia teacher who was shot by a 6-year-old student earlier this month will sue the school district, her attorney announced on Wednesday. An hour before the January 6th shooting at Richneck Elementary School, Abigail Zwerner, 25, texted someone about the boy having a gun in his backpack and school officials doing nothing about it. The sources said Zwerner was frustrated. No assistance was offered when she tried to get help for the student or when she needed help herself. Her lawyer, Diane Toscano, alleged that 3 teachers went to administrators about the boy's behavior on the day of the shooting, including the teacher that was shot. She reportedly told administrators that the student had threatened to beat up a classmate. Later, another teacher reportedly told administrators that they searched his backpack, though the gun was not located. The teacher said the gun may have been in the boy's pocket. According to Toscano, a third teacher informed administrators that the boy brandished a gun at recess and threatened to shoot a classmate if he told. The lawyer also claimed that another teacher asked to search the boy, but administrators denied the request as they wanted to wait out the situation because the school day was almost over. The 6-year-old boy reportedly shot Zwerner as she taught 20 other students. The gun allegedly belonged to the boy's mother, who obtained it legally. Superintendent George Parker III previously stated that at least one administrator was aware of the possible weapon in the boy's possession prior to the shooting. On the day of the shooting, the boy reportedly arrived at the school late, and his backpack was inspected in the front office. It remains unclear why the gun was not located during that check. No criminal charges have been filed yet. According to the boy's family, he has been in treatment since the shooting. Let's see here. And Anna Sorokin, the fake heiress, is scheming for another reality show. I guess that's the easiest way for her to make money. Probably. Anna Sorokin is shopping around a reality show about her life, which she said will provide a glimpse into the real woman who posed as a fake German heiress, Anna Delvey, for years. With the working title Delvey's Dinner Club, the show would see the 32-year-old inviting guests over to the New York City apartment where she is serving her house arrest while they have candid, unscripted conversation about her life and crimes. The show has already signed on the production company Butternut, which is run by the former Food Network president Courtney White and media mogul Bran Montgomery of Wheelhouse Entertainment. Butternut and Sorokin are currently shopping the project around to platforms in the hopes it will be picked up. Previously, Netflix paid Sorokin about $350,000 to make a dramatization about her story. I'm grateful for the opportunity to work with Wheelhouse and Butternut to bring my vision to a wider audience and share a glimpse of the real Anna Delvey. White added that the show would reveal who Anna Delvey really is. It's often said the best way to get to know someone is to share a meal with them. We're all desperate to know who Anna really is, White said. Delvey's Dinner Club will reveal the actual woman behind everything we've read and watched about Anna. She is breaking her story in her own words, and we believe it will defy viewers' expectations. The show's esteemed guests will are encouraged to ask Sorokin about her criminal exploits. It will also focus on Sorokin's experience living under house arrest in the East Village apartment she has been living in since her release from prison last fall. She was found guilty of grand larceny in 2019, and she was imprisoned by immigration for overstaying her visa. For years, she posed as Anna Delvey, a German heiress of her own fabrication, and she hoodwinked New York City's elite into giving her hundreds of thousands of dollars. In reality, she was born to working-class Russian parents, grew up in Germany before moving to New York City in 2013 to begin her ruse, which included fabricating financial documents to back up her claims of having multi-millions in trust funds and swindle banks, realtors, and friends into paying for her lavish lifestyle. Let's see. Sentenced to 12 years in prison for her crime, she served just 2 of them for good behavior. Delvey's Dinner Club would not be her first foray into television. Last year, she was portrayed by actress Julia Garner in the miniseries Inventing Anna, written by Shonda Rhimes. She used the more than $750,000 Netflix gave her for the show to pay back some of the victims of her con. Sorokin was put under house arrest in October 2022. After 18 months in ICE custody, the judge ruled she was not a danger to the public. She posted $10,000 bond, and she said, "I feel like I deserved a second chance. It was my mistake that I made, and I served my time. I feel like I should deserve a second opportunity." Sorokin faces deportation to Germany after completing her criminal sentence in February of 2021 for convictions of grand larceny and thefts totaling $275,000, including stealing at least one flight on a private jet.
Carolyn?
Yes.
Scooter said, unpopular opinion, but I like how this girl fooled all these rich people.
Mm-hmm.
I actually agree with Scooter, believe it or not. And Scooter, the first thing she said was unpopular opinion. But actually, I agree with that.
I mean, if you really think about it, it is like Nick and I were just talking about this while Carolyn was reading. It's the American dream. You want to come over here and be successful. It's not the way to do it.
Right. Hurting, taking advantage of others is not the way to do it. It's not.
But she's getting paid now, I guess, legitimately. So.
Mm-hmm. I actually agree with you, Scooter.
Oh, look at this. This is crazy. The Massachusetts. 2 children were found dead on Tuesday at a Massachusetts home where their mother jumped out of a window in an apparent suicide attempt. Plymouth District Attorney Timothy Cruz said a 5-year-old girl and a 3-year-old boy were deceased while an 8-month-old was hospitalized. Oh no. Duxbury Police and Fire responded to the scene and found a woman who was also taken to the hospital for treatment. Cruz said a male resident had called 911. The male had reported that the woman had jumped out of a window. Cruz also said that 3 children had obvious signs of trauma. The surviving child's current condition was not disclosed, and the mother also remains hospitalized. Well, how high? That house doesn't look high enough that jumping out of a window would kill someone.
Is it a light to
Doesn't
zoom
look
in a little bit?
like a.
It doesn't look very.
So that was just a very odd thing. Unless there's like even that, she'd hit the porch. Doesn't look like it. It's very odd. And what?
That's what I was looking at, where your mouse just went. Because even then up there, it don't look very high, does it?
It doesn't,
But I don't know.
I don't know.
You get me rolling off a roof, everything will probably break. That's a weird story.
Okay, and then a 15-year-old is charged in the death of her cheerleader rival. Let's see. What's going on here? The 15-year-old New York girl was sentenced Tuesday 3 to 9 years for the stabbing death. She only got 3 to 9 years of a rival cheerleader last spring. Kayla Green, a sophomore captain of the Mount Vernon Junior varsity cheerleading squad, was killed in April of 2022 in a brawl that broke out during a parade celebrating the state championship won by the school's boys basketball team. The defendant, a member of an independent cheer squad that Green had once belonged to, was indicted on a charge of first-degree manslaughter and pled guilty in December. Judge Susan Kakase said Tuesday the attack on Green stemmed from a long-standing rivalry between the 2 cheerleading squads in the city of Mount Vernon. Prosecutor James Bavero said the attack was an intentional, senseless, and vicious intentional crime which has caused immeasurable pain. The 15-year-old tearfully read a statement accepting responsibility for her actions and apologized. I am sorry my actions took away a big sister. I am sorry my actions took away a daughter. I think all of the different choices I could have made that day that would have left Kayla alive and saved her family this heartache. But that is why everyone is here today, because I made bad choices. As a juvenile, the maximum sentence she could have received was 3 to 10 years, the district attorney said. The judge didn't spell out why she knocked a year off the maximum, but noted that the defendant, who had a history of violent conduct, is thriving in detention, perhaps on a path to make something of her life. Green's family, however, was not satisfied with either the sentence or the girl's apology. Justice did not occur today. Mockery did, Green's mother, Laverne Gordon, said in court. My family is broken, and our heart will never mend from the loss of my daughter. Her killer gets to get out in 3 years to live her life, to have family, to have a career. My daughter will never see that. Gordon, who had pushed for murder charges instead of manslaughter charges for the 15-year-old, said this. The defendant's attorney, Michael Borelli, said he hoped that the healing process can begin for the victim's family and for the community, most specifically for the city of Mount Vernon. In handing down the sentence, the judge pointed to a hopeful sign, saying the defendant is thriving in detention, perhaps on a path to make something of her life. The district attorney's office said the teen will be held in the juvenile detention center until she turns 18, when she'll be transferred to prison. It's this one.
No justice there. That's not justice.
I don't know why she wasn't charged as an adult, because
Imagine if she gets out and does
Anthony
it
Fucci
again.
was 13 and charged as an adult, and there's other kids that are charged as an adult at
Right.
even younger than that. That's very strange. She wasn't
That is
charged.
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, Gretchen, right? I know. Okay, so the poll is 66% think he'd be found guilty and 34% think he will be an innocent man. We'll see how that changes tomorrow. Hi, Heartney Wise. 3-9, yeah, I know. That is strange. Let's see. I don't know. That. And Silent Witness. Hi, Silent Witness. How are you?
Mm.
Liza Ward, Julian Gonzalez. No, that's ridiculous for killing her. Yeah. 3 to 9 years. That's crazy. Don't get it.
Disparaging. Imagine that took her mother's breath away when she heard that sentence. It's not justice.
Live chat. Let's see what else we have. So there was something. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to read for the Murdaugh. Let me see if I can find it.
Thank you, everyone, for smashing that like button. It only takes just a few seconds, and you can smash that like button for us. It's free. Showing support. Same here, Bink. A little below 35.
I want to read the sections. Let me see what this is.
128 watching. Thank y'all so much.
Alex.
Thank you for smashing that like button.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I want. So, yeah. Do not want insurance. Okay, that's the one I want. I think this is the one. Let's see if it's here. It. Okay, let's see if this is. It's just oh, that's all there is on that. Oh my goodness. That's not the one I want. I wonder if they had. I was looking for something in Alex's case, and let's see what he's got here. Carolina. Just to find to do something. Okay, let's see. The office. Clicks.
Good night, Serenity.
Okay, maybe this
Rest well.
I'm going to sleep Sunday. All right. See, I know that there was Maggie. Shortly after the murders, there was reports that emerged that Maggie was in the process of filing for divorce, which we didn't hear from either. There were things alleging that Maggie had met with a divorce attorney in Charleston 6 weeks before she was murdered. It was also said that they said she was living on Edisto because she just liked to live on Edisto and not Mizell. But when this happened, they were saying that she was estranged and just wanted to be away from him. So, stuff has changed, what they're saying. And it also said that she had found out financial fraud that he had done, and that was going to be the motive he had to get rid of her. Let's see. Regarding the state of Maggie and Alex's marriage, totally inconsistent with what we have been told by friends and family. Also, we have reviewed many years of text messages on Alex's phone, and the conversations between Alex and Maggie portray a very loving relationship. It's our hope that the media will continue to focus on covering the investigation. Okay. What's this?
Do you get them?
According to his uncle, Paul spent the day working with him at an equipment rental business in Okatah, South Carolina. When Randolph Murdaugh III needed to be transported to the hospital in Savannah, John Marvin drove his truck to his parents' house in Alameda and took his father to Savannah in his mother's car. He asked Paul to retrieve his truck from his parents' home, which is believed to be the vehicle Paul drove to Mizell on the night he was murdered. Dog, a chocolate Labrador puppy belonging to Rogan Gibson, had an injured tail, and Paul Murdaugh appears to have been trying to document its status for his childhood friend. Rogan Gibson was one of the last people to speak with Paul prior to his death. Gibson's name was included in a dispatch log. Paul's death. Okay. When does that? I can't wait for that new documentary to start. And let's see. Prosecutors have audio and video recordings. I wonder about the
Hyundai Santa Fe versus Subaru Outback. Hyundai Santa.
Yes, let me see if they have the. Let's see, is this the 911 call? Let me see if this is it.
Hyundai Santa Fe.
Somebody answered. Okay.
Crime is even bad in Hawaii right now.
Hmm?
Crime is even bad in Hawaii right now. It's like it's crime is just violence.
Road. I need the police to answer immediately. My wife and child just got badly.
Okay, you said 4147 Moselle Road in Allison?
Sir?
You said 4147 Moselle Road in Allison?
Yes, sir. 4147 Roselle Road.
Stay on the line with me, okay? Yes, sir. Stay on the line with me, okay?
Hello?
I'm still here. Stay on the line. I'm still here, okay? Colleton, I have an Alex Murdaugh on the line, caller from 4147 Moselle Road. He's advising that his wife and child was shot. Mr. Murdaugh, go ahead and talk to Colleton.
It's 4147 Moselle Road. I've been up to it now. It's bad.
Okay.
Collin County Communications.
Colleton, I have an Alex Murdaugh on the line, caller from 4147 Moselle Road. He's advising that his wife and child was shot.
Okay, and sir, give me the address again.
It's 4147 Moselle Road. I've been up to it now. It's bad.
Okay. Okay, and are they breathing?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and you said it's your wife and your son?
My wife and my son.
Are they in a vehicle?
No, ma'am. They're on the ground out at my kennel.
Okay, and did you see anyone? Okay, is he breathing at all?
No, nobody.
Is she? Okay, do you see anything? Do you see anyone in the area?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
What color's your house on the outside? What color's your house on the outside?
It's white. You can't see it from the road.
Okay, is it a house or a mobile home?
It's a house.
Okay, and what is your name?
My name is Alex Murdaugh.
Okay, and did you hear anything, or did you come home and find them?
No, ma'am. I've been gone. I just came back.
Okay, and was anyone else supposed to be at your house?
No, ma'am. Please hurry.
We're getting somebody out there to you.
Oh. Oh, man. Oh.
Okay, what is her name?
Maggie and Paul.
Maggie is her name?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And please hurry.
We're getting somebody out there to you. Me asking you these questions don't slow them down, okay? And you sure they're not breathing? Is he moving at all, your son? I know you said that she was shot, but what about your son?
Nobody. They're not. Neither one of them's moving.
What is your telephone number? And does anything look out of place?
Ma'am, not particularly, really, no, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
All right, I'm going back down there.
And this was 10 p.m. This call was made. You're
Are they close, ma'am?
Yeah, they've been en route with you ever since you've got on the phone with me. I have multiple people coming out there to you. Okay, can you do me a favor, Mr. Murdaugh, and turn on the flashers on your car so that way they can see where the kennels are?
21. Central come down station 18. You will need station 15.
Do you have your flashers on for me, Mr. Murdaugh?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want you to touch them at all, okay? I don't know if you've already touched them, but I don't want you to touch them just in case they can get any kind of evidence, okay?
I already touched them trying to get to see if they were breathing.
Okay. Well, I just don't want you to move anything just in case they can get any kind of evidence, okay?
Oh. Ma'am, I'm going to call. I need to call some of my family.
Okay.
On this.
Well, do me a favor for me. Whenever you see the officer or the medics, because they're all coming to you.
Absolutely.
Okay. But we have them come in, turn on the flashes on your vehicle so they can see you, okay? You got the flashers on for me?
I do.
Okay. All right. Just whenever you see them.
Okay.
How old is your son?
22.
Okay. All right. We're getting them out there to you, okay?
And I will answer if you call.
All right.
I'll call. Let's see. So he doesn't seem concerned that there's somebody that could have just shot them on his property, really, in that call, does he? He doesn't say who did this, who could have done this, why'd they do this. Some things. But that's what we have there. Let's see what you're saying. See if they were breathing, his brains were at his feet, right? But he didn't say that to the lady on the phone. Brains everywhere, and he says, hurry, hurry. Right. Wonder if any of the family could ever really trust each other. It's the part that really stands out. High adventures with Beth. What did you say about adventures? I don't care how you're brought up, this situation, you wouldn't use words like ma'am if you're really upset. It's the bits that are missing, no panicky breathing, the pauses, silence. Please hurry, I thought they weren't breathing. Yeah, I know, he said Murdaugh with a K, but his own lawyer says Murdaugh, and I don't care. I'm going to say Murdaugh, that's it. Because that's the way it is. You're having trouble hearing me? How about now? Are you having trouble hearing me now? Can anyone hear me, or is it Kevin's hearing? Can you guys hear me in the chat?
Yeah, your audio is good. Really good.
Okay. Sorry, Kevin, it's your ears.
Oh, no.
I think you're talking about the call.
Oh, the call? I don't know. He said, I can't hear you. There's gunshot residue supposedly on the seatbelt, Christine, but I don't think there's blood in the car. see.
He was too calm. He was way too calm. Did you hear Angelique's comment?
Yeah.
Oh, she said she flipped out when her dog got hit by a car. This guy sounds like he just woke up from a nap. Disgusting. I agree.
I was just a little low, Barb. Okay. Back in the things just there.
Right, a heart.
What have done this? What happened? Oh my gosh, what happened? Right, yeah. I was just here before. I went to see my mother and somebody, who could have done this? Supposedly there's a towel in the car. Okay. We'll see, Gretchen. We'll see. But how come they didn't have cameras all over that would have seen anybody coming in? Right? We have gates and no cameras. Cracks me up how you say about... Oh, can you... Yeah, I know it's Pink. Sorry. But Kevin was asking. Look if they show the video tomorrow. I will. We'll see if they show it tomorrow. Maybe if they do have the first responders, they will show it. We'll see. Let's see what else. So he did cry. Well, he looked like he was, I don't know if there's...
Right, Barb? Yeah, same. Me too, Barb. Most likely. I mean... How horrific of a scene.
Attorney Jim Griffin spoke with Alex as he tears up after the jury was excused and the defense and prosecutions discussed how to handle sensitive crime scene photos during his double murder trial. Oh, and that's the other thing. The defense attorney had him stand up. Right in the beginning, he said, "I am honored to be representing Alex Murdaugh." And then he said, "Stand up, Alex," and he had him stand up. Yeah, so that was very different. You know, he's saying he's so honored. You know, he's such a pillar, right?
I think that's why they want the cameras back on in Lori's case as well. Just my opinion, though. You notice how they're asking for those cameras real quick and to be turned back on in Lori's case, Carolyn?
Yeah, but that's her family. That's the kid's family, I mean, asking. Lori doesn't want him on.
You don't think Lori Daybell wants the cameras pointed
No,
at her?
no, she doesn't.
Oh, okay.
It's the family of the victims that want the cameras on.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't think she wants anybody seeing her like that.
That picture you showed earlier when she was cutting her eyes at the camera.
Hmm. Walterboro, South Carolina. So, let's see. Walterboro, South Carolina. Walterboro, South Carolina is the front porch of Low Country. That's what it's called, visitors. You could go to the Walterboro Wildlife Sanctuary, a 600-acre wildlife sanctuary just 3 minutes from I-95. The South Carolina Artisan Center. Indulge your inner artist, the Antiques and Collectibles, Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, First Tuesday. That's about it there that you're going to go to. And then where to stay. Let's see what the hotel will cost you if you stay there. Well, you could stay at the Comfort Inn and Suites in Walterboro. Let me see what a room would cost there if if someone was to go down there and try to watch. Oh, they're not that bad. 102, 111. There's packages for 126 a night in that hotel. Let's see what else the Hampton Inn. Guest rooms. Whatever. Their rooms are sold out for January 26th to January 27th. They're sold out at the Hampton Inn. Bet you that's where all the people are staying. Let's see. Holiday Inn Express. There's like nobody in there, and they try. Someone said there's a press room or something, so I don't know whether the press is not allowed to sit in the room, it's the courtroom itself, because there's lots of empty places to sit, and I'm just wondering about that. Let's see, so what is a room here? Rooms and suites. Okay, so are you going to tell me what a room is? Newly renovated in 2015. I won't even show you. Please, sorry, no offers. Okay, but where's the freaking rooms? Book now. What is today? Today is the 26th. 27th, let's see. Wow, these are expensive. So these are $263 a night. The Holiday Inn and Express, it's a lot different, so maybe that's where they're staying. Okay, so let's see. What else do we have there? So, So in June, the judge okayed the sales of the Murdaugh estate, the Murdaugh Edisto Island house. Someone offered all cash. Buyer offers nearly $1 million all cash for the Murdaugh Edisto estate. I wonder if they're going to be using that as an Airbnb, as a rental, a vacation rental, or if they're going to be living there, because a lot of the houses there are rentals. And I wonder, that would be interesting if they were renting that house out.
How far is it from Folly, where we're going to be?
I don't know, but it wasn't far from where we were last year. It was like just literally minutes away. We went
Oh,
past it in
wow.
the car and took a video. Yeah, it's not far at all from where we were last year.
Is it on your page where I could see that?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
it's on the
gosh, I
cover.
missed that one.
Yeah, I know.
What the heck?
It's right on the
All
cover.
right.
Here's some information about the house over here. Let me see.
Well, they'll probably just, I don't know. It's in the family, right? There's other family members.
No, this
We'd be
is
able to rent it out.
large
Yeah.
entertaining and sleeping glassed sun porch. Schedule. Then the inside, let's see. Edisto, so we did that with shells.
Oh, that's nice.
I wonder if they'll. It's not on the ocean. It's near the marina, the yacht club.
Is it in that gated community where you have to pay for all those
No.
amenities? Okay.
Well, no. Mm-mm. They have a nice little sink under there. Nice cabinets.
I mean, I wouldn't turn it down if somebody was giving it to me.
Yeah. It's a 2-minute walk to the ocean. Beach just ahead where the low clouds are. "8 miles of shell-strewn beach to enjoy to your heart's content. Coastal foliage surrounds the home and lot. View and distance of Big Bay Creek and beyond. Spectacular sunsets. I wonder if they're renting that out. Who knows? They will. I wonder if they will rent it out. That might be. That might be a money maker for people to stay in there. You know, even though nothing happened there, but. See. Oh, look at this. October 13th, 2021. It says, the property on Edisto Beach earned by the Murdaugh family is due thousands in delinquent taxes, but pending lawsuits may prevent it from going to auction. Court records show that Alex Murdaugh and his late wife Margaret owed thousands of dollars of delinquent taxes on the family's Edisto Island beach house. Tax records show the Murdaughs owe more than only 6,000? Are you kidding me? That's
Only
6,000 in delinquent taxes in 2020 and more than 7,000. That sounds just like what would be the taxes for 1 year. That doesn't even sound like. That's crazy. I have to pay that in a few days. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Colton County officials say if the back taxes aren't paid by December 10th, the house will go for auction. Those officials also confirmed that a delinquent tax notice was delivered to the property last week. But officials with the county said the property will not go to the tax sale because of the pending lawsuits. The Murdaughs have owned the property since 2002. Century-old ring 2 years ago. Does that have to do with Maggie? Let me see. $19.19. Oh gosh, somebody found a century-old ring was lost on Edisto Beach 2 years ago. Then an amateur sleuth found it. Isn't that crazy?
Crazy.
I think we read that story once, and that's when Scooter wanted to bring her. It was from 1919. That's why she wanted to bring her in.
The ring is from 1919?
Yeah, and it was lost 2 years ago, and then somebody found it for the person. It's crazy. Wow. And lost it on the beach, yeah.
Could you imagine?
Crazy.
You've got the picture of Alex still up.
Oh, okay. Edisto Island. Alex's wife texted sent husband to say. See, here's what the original things. It said that Alex Murdaugh's wife texted a friend to say their husband was up to something hours before she and her son were found slain at the family's South Carolina compound. Maggie Murdaugh, 52, and her son Paul, 22, were killed at the 1,770-acre estate after Mr. Murdaugh called her and asked her to go and see his 81-year-old father. Mr. Murdaugh was living separately. So now they're telling a different story about how she was going there for dinner. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Alex wants his family, friends, and everyone to know that he did not have anything to do with the murders of Maggie and Paul. He loved them more than anything in the world, his legal team said in a statement. Yeah, I'm sure that's what he wants the world to know. Okay.
There was another area you were reading before, and Kevin said 1,700 acres. And there was another place you were reading the other night. It said over 2,000. It is a lot of acreage. Man, probably very valuable.
Why did she say that these were... I don't know why they're on that. The low tide.
I shouldn't say very valuable, just valuable in general.
On the low tide beach, empty, girl. That's where she found the ring. She found it in a sand. Oh, that's crazy. Very interesting. Okay.
The twists and turns in some of these cases is just like when you think you got the case down, it's more twists and turns, and you're like, really?
Yeah, Murdaugh, Life of Maggie Murdaugh. Let's see. The Secret Life of Maggie Murdaugh. She's Margaret Kennedy Brandstetter, the granddaughter of a simple barber from rural Kentucky who grew up to marry one of South Carolina's richest men and fly around on chartered jets, was guilty of one thing, according to family and friends. Maggie Murdaugh, as she was known, as an adult, spoiled her two sons. By all accounts, her older child, Buster, 26, was much more easygoing and well-adjusted than Paul, who was 22 when he was shot to death, along with his 52-year-old mother. Paul was facing criminal charges in February of 2019 from the boat crash, right? We know that. I saw him snap at least once, a family member said. He told his Aunt Nancy to go F herself. It was about 10 years ago. He would have been around 11. I was alone with him, and maybe a few other kids were there. I was on his case about it, but he said that he didn't give a shite. He did not take authority well. Bubba Mixon, 52, of Varnville, South Carolina, whose oldest son attended school with Buster, said he and his wife knew Maggie well. He said she shouldn't be blamed for being overindulgent with her boys. An old school homemaker and mother, she never worked outside the home, except briefly when she opened a gift shop on Hampton's Main Street years ago. Maggie lived for her kids. She was at every school function. She was such a sweet person. She never met a stranger. I can't say enough about her, and I mean that. Oh gosh, this is her in high school. The girl next to her looks just like a girl that I graduated with. This is crazy. I really thought it was somebody in my yearbook. Friend said her Margaret. And I guess she was on the track team as well. Girls sprint to winning season. Let's see where she is. Bottom row. Second row. She's right here, so she's somewhere in the second row. It looks like she's right here, I think. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold on a minute. This is her. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this looks like it's her. This looks like it's more her. Go to that name. Maggie was very close to her parents, Terry and Kennedy Brandstetter, who live in Somerville, South Carolina, and have not spoken about their daughter or grandson, who was named Paul Terry. Gosh, I knew a Paul Terry. After Terry since their deaths. Terry, now 77, has been in declining health since the murders. The Brandstetters were high school sweethearts who met at Caverna High School in the tiny Horse Cave, Kentucky, around 1960. They crossed the border into Tennessee to marry because they were underage in Kentucky. Terry got 3 job offers after college from IBM, Ford, and DuPont. He once said he specifically got his dad's blessing to go to DuPont, even though his father had always been a Ford man. These are her parents. Let's look. I don't know why. Her mother looks very young. Her parents were very proper, said a friend who was friends with Maggie and ran track with her in Pennsylvania in 1984 and 1986. So she went to college in Pennsylvania. Maggie was born while her parents were living in Nashville, but Terry's job with DuPont led him to be transferred to Wilmington, North Carolina, and then to Unionville, PA, where the family lived from 1980 to 1987. Cool. So we had little cliques, and we ran after boys, and we did a little partying and drinking, but I think her dreams were what she was taught. She was from the South, and the Southern dream for a girl at that time was to finish college, maybe, but more importantly, find a husband, get married, and have kids. Let's see. She was a pretty girl wearing the same preppy clothes we all did. I remember us out in the fields drinking a 6-pack, but Margaret, we never called her Maggie, was always thin. She would pick at me for being heavier, but we all did this and said things like that. She didn't deserve what happened to her. I think she got in too deep and didn't have a voice. But she had to be quiet on account of who she was married to. That was the tragedy, I think. Terry's last job with DuPont brought him to Cooper River, South Carolina, and Maggie enrolled at the University of South Carolina, where she met Alex, who was 1 grade ahead of her, in the late 1980s. He was Maggie's first real boyfriend, but her decision to marry him came at a price. He said she'd have to move to Hampton with him, the bleak rural town where the Murdaughs have ruled as both local prosecutors and civil attorneys since 1910, but where there isn't so much as a Walmart. The family member who tangled with Paul as a child said Maggie was by far his favorite Murdaugh, even if the two were not related by blood. Maggie was more down to earth She'd let her hair down, drop some F-bombs, and tell you to piss off if she felt like it. She had a great dry sense of humor. She had this thing where she'd roll her eyes when someone was doing something stupid like Alex or Paul. She bent over backwards for her kids, maybe to a fault. Those boys wanted for nothing. She was the only one in the family to go see Gloria Satterfield, the family housekeeper, when she was dying in the hospital. The family member said he was always surprised by how understated Alex and Maggie's home in Hampton, South Carolina was when he visited the Murdaughs. They sold that house prior to the murders and split their time between Edisto Beach and the hunting lodge. I wouldn't say it was a dump. It was nice enough, but not what you'd expect from people who literally seem to have millions of dollars to burn. I mean, they never flew commercial that I can remember. They always chartered jets. Two sources familiar with the case said, at best, Maggie and Alex had been growing apart and were living separate lives, with her at a cottage in Edisto Beach and him at the hunting lodge in Islandton. If Maggie was trying to dump her husband, who is now known to have financial difficulties after an alleged 20-year opioid addiction, she said little about it and kept in good humor, family and friends said. None of what they're saying is true, and it's none of nobody's business either, said a friend. Another source close to her claimed to have searched the state for any divorce attorney who had gotten a visit from Maggie but came up empty. Let's see. So, and his attorney, Dick Harputelan, vehemently denies reports that Murdaugh's marriage was on the rocks. He said he saw both Alex and Maggie together on a regular basis over an 18-month period. I even saw them holding hands. Don't you think if they were splitting up and talking divorce, there'd be more proof of it by now? Family members said he always liked Alex and Maggie. There was no question that they ran the town. They owned the police. They could always do whatever they wanted. There was no fear of consequences or repercussions to anything they did. If I owned the police in my town, I might do more myself. The Murdaughs' control of Hampton County and the surrounding regions began after Alex's great-grandfather, Randolph Murdaugh Sr., started the family law firm in 1910 and became the local prosecutor without giving up his original business. His son was elected to take his place in 1940, and Randolph Murdaugh III, Alex's father, was the solicitor until 2005, when Duffel Stone, a Murdaugh ally, was elected to the position. But since the murders, Maggie's widower has fallen so far from grace, and the power and entitlement locals say he's enjoyed since birth has all but evaporated. He's only 53 and he looks way older. Wow. Alex allegedly found the bodies. Yeah, we know that. I don't know how he's dyeing his hair in prison, because it looks like he's doing something to it. He knows he's up against the good old boys who will bury him if he gets the tiniest thing wrong. He's not dropping anything until he's absolutely sure. Meanwhile, surviving son Buster still has not spoken publicly. Was seen in September at the family home in Edisto Beach and was reported recently at the Venetian Casino in Las Vegas. Buster has been hiding out a lot of the time with Maggie's only sibling, her older and even richer sister, Marion Proctor, in Charleston. Yep. Okay. Interesting.
Carolyn, do they have an alternate suspect or alternate
No.
Theory that they're gonna know?
Not that. I mean, they haven't. Well, the defense doesn't have to give it. They just have to show you that he didn't do it. They don't have to. They don't have to come up with an alternate theory or anything. And I don't. The prosecution is saying that Alex did it. So I don't think
So what do you think the defense will be?
What? Well, they're saying that the guns weren't found and that Paul was careless with the guns. So even if he was shot with a family gun or whatever, Paul was leaving these guns around. And how could Alex do this? He didn't have enough time. They're saying, where are the bloody clothes? The bloody clothes were never found, and he could never have changed that fast. If you say that video was at this time and Maggie's phone was on at this time, that only gives him 10 minutes to brutally kill everyone and then change out of these bloody clothes, because there's no way that this person would not be covered from head to toe in blood, and drive to his parents' house and drive back, and there's just no way. And that's what they're saying. They're just going to keep trying to give them, you know,
If it were planned out,
Reasonable
if it were
doubt.
planned out, he might be able to do it.
so to see how it goes there. How goes it?
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for smashing that like button.
Creating reasonable doubt, right?
That's what it sounds like they're trying to spin.
Look at the Idaho murders. Yeah, right. 20 minutes. And those, I got a freaking weird email today from somebody saying that they were trying to connect the guy in that SWAT standoff to Brian Kohlberger and saying that this one picture was an eye. Just crazy. I've been getting some really crazy emails lately. Something also about, what was the other one I got, Kevin? What was that killer? The Zodiac killer? What's that about? I don't know what that one was about. No, it was about the Zodiac killer. I think.
Really?
Wasn't it the Zodiac killer, Kevin? Who was it about, that
really?
crazy freaking email I got? Just FYI, 27 hours for Zoom. I was thinking that guy in the middle was Alex's dad. No, those are Maggie's parents and Maggie. So crazy.
No
Is
silent
Leo real
witness.
Carolyn's husband? No,
am
it's
a
not my
guest
husband.
on the
It's not
panel.
Kevin. You're so nosy. You're not so nosy. It's not. It's video real. It's video real. Haven't you seen video real around silent witness? That's so crazy. Kolpaka, yeah. That's who they're saying that so ridiculous, yeah.
Poor Jimmy.
Where's our what are we missing? Where's Billy Boy? Billy Boy, where are you?
I haven't seen Billy Boy in a while.
I know.
146 watching, 57 likes. Thank you so much for smashing that like button. It's free. Cheers.
Oh, you
If
just
you
didn't know?
can.
Oh, curious? Okay, silent witness. Yeah, that's okay. It's not Kevin. Kevin can't be two places at one time. Plus, Kevin's taking a lot of notes for the meeting.
That's right,
Guess he
Kevin.
was already going to jail anyway. Plenty of seats in court, though. Yeah, but then Kevin was saying something about a press room, so I don't know whether they were not. Billy Boy Blue has left to blow his horn. Yeah, I guess so. He's blowing his horn. Blowing his horn. Where is Hillbilly? Yeah, where is Hillbilly? Hillbilly, where are you?
Yeah, that's another one.
Where the heck is Hillbilly?
Paging
Hillbilly, Hillbilly,
Steve.
Hillbilly. Call him 3 times. He might just appear.
That's right.
Hi, Ashley. How's it going? Okay, let's see what we could do to wind down. What do I have?
So we got round 4 of this at 9:30 in the morning, huh? For the trial?
Yeah, 9:30. 9:30, so I can't stay up that late, but I can stay up a few more minutes and do something.
So in the Idaho murders, today it reads that Zach's mother is upset that the lawyer for Brian dropped her case.
Who, Zaina's mother's upset that the lawyer dropped her case? Is that what you
For
said?
Brian. Yeah, for Brian. And she did an interview.
Who
but I don't
did?
think-
The
Zana's
mother?
Yeah. I'll see what it
Let me see.
Welcome, Ashley.
Oh, she feels betrayed, I see. Let's see. The mother of Xana Kernoodle says she feels betrayed after her lawyer, who had been representing her in court over drug-related charges, was forced to drop her in favor of Brian Kohlberger, the man accused of killing her daughter and 3 others. And she did an interview Wednesday with News Nation anchor Ashley Banfield. Kara Kernoodle was asked how she reacted upon learning of the change. And she said she only became aware of it through a friend who had seen it online rather than directly through the public defender's office or the attorney, Ann Taylor. And I quote,
Wow.
She said, "I'm heartbroken because I trusted her. She pretended that she was wanting to help me. And to find out that she is representing him, I can't even convey how betrayed I feel," she said. Kara, who was arrested on drug charges on November 19th, a few days after her daughter was murdered. Taylor represented her until January 5th when a judge appointed her to Kohlberger's defense team. The 28-year-old suspect, a PhD student studying criminal justice and criminology at Washington State, was arrested December 30th. Kernoodle has said that she has not been contacted by the public defender's office as to how her own case will proceed. Oh. Easy.
That seems like a huge conflict of interest, don't it?
Well, that's why that's why she had to step down. And
But I mean, the lawyer, Nolan, I mean, probably is going after the bigger case.
yeah, of course. And one she's going to get more notoriety for and everything else, sure.
Right. And then Xana's mom was left in the dust.
Let's see. Seems really strange that Colonel only found out about the lawyer today as a member. Yeah. I don't know. Well, that's that. That's like the coroner taking on the defense. She's a defense attorney. Yeah, the coroner, right? Lawyer found a more beneficial case. Yeah, I guess so, Ashley, right? Yep. That's true. That's
Have
true.
them loyalty like that, you know, to a client.
Yeah. Well, if she really wasn't, I guess.
Right.
Yep. I think so. So, hang on 1 minute. I have to go get just a bite of yogurt. Just like a little bit of yogurt. I don't know why Kevin thought they weren't going to have the witnesses tomorrow. I wish I knew why he said that. Kevin, why did you think that?
It's definitely different, Barb. That's for sure. You don't hear about situations like that all the time in cases. You're right, Deborah.
Huh?
I'm just responding to people in chat.
Where was I?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. What is it? Oh, okay. Let's see. What do you do?
How far I've done it.
I didn't say that.
Huh?
I said fucking Luke.
Let me get that. Liza. Liza's joining the live, everyone. Welcome, Liza, to the panel. And if you could, please smash the like button for 61 likes, 138 watchers, viewers. We appreciate y'all so much for smashing that like button.
Hi, Liza.
She's
Hi,
on mute.
Liza.
She's on
Hey
mute.
everybody,
There she goes.
How are
how are
you?
you all?
Good.
Good, how are you guys? Good, darling.
Good. I'm eating chocolate.
Yum,
Yeah.
sounds good.
That
You eating
reminds me,
chocolate? Oh, I'm eating yogurt.
Oh, please. That's really good.
What kind of yogurt are you
Blackberries.
eating? What
Which
kind?
one? I'm eating the honey and lemon with fresh blackberries.
Oh, is it good?
Mm-hmm.
Is the honey lemon good?
Very good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't tried it. I'm eating chocolate right now. Maybe I'll have yogurt at.
The honey lemon's not better than the honey vanilla, though, right?
I don't know. I don't think it's better. I think it's good though. I might just have to have the honey vanilla to make sure.
Mhm.
I think I will. I think I will just try a little bit of the honey. Just be sure. I can't be sure.
Right, Kevin? It's probably got a long ways to go, actually. I'm sorry, Mary. I don't think she's scraping. I think she's tearing up the yogurt, actually.
What do they think I'm doing?
Which I would be too. If I was over there, you would just be hearing a spoon and bowl. And that's just the truth. Especially with the blackberries in it. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I think the honey lemon's really good.
You'd be like, what's that noise? Clink, clink,
Oh,
clink.
that's my Ferrero Rocher collection of fine assorted.
You like the? Yeah, it's supposed to last 3 weeks, Bart. Yep. Sorry, I have to eat something. I mean,
What is it,
Yeah.
Nicole?
It's my Ferrero Rocher
Mary, why are
collection.
you out?
Oh, your chocolate.
Assorted chocolate.
Mary really doesn't like the Yogurt Talk You series, Mary.
Wait, Mary, what?
Mary said she's out if we're talking yogurt. Sorry. I'm sorry, Mary.
I thought it was hilarious how long you talked about yogurt for the other week. It was so funny. I was just driving away listening to you guys talking about yogurt. All yogurt that I can't get in Australia.
Oh, you found it, Christine? Did you get it? Oh, you're jealous. I'm sorry. Why? You can't get it, Mary? They don't have it where you are? Oh, it's weird. Now I can't tell if I like the lemon better.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
The lemon goes good with
What?
blackberries, believe
That's
it
a
or
very
not.
strong statement.
Lemon
It's
goes
weird.
really
The
good
lemon,
with
the
blackberries.
lemon honey might be. I don't know.
No.
I might have to do another taste test. I don't know.
It
seemed
probably
like
is
the
the lemon
lemon
and blackberries together.
was really good. The lemon honey was really good from Aldi's. And I have to look at the price because I think that might have been like really cheap, like $3 something at Aldi's for the big container. Did you have the lemon honey at Aldi's, Ashley? Ashley, yes? Your daughter and her friends ate all my yogurt. Are you the one that said you love the lemon honey from Aldi's? it's really good, right? Because at first it doesn't taste real lemony. And then it's like, now I just tasted the honey. You know, and I even think that the Walmart brand of the faker one of the Greek gods, the honey vanilla of the Walmart brand might even taste better than the Greek gods one. I'm not kidding. See, Ashley likes the honey lemon one.
It is good yogurt. I've
They ate
actually
it all,
had these
Ashley?
flavors before.
Family helps me eat it up too fast. Oh, you do eat it, Mary. You like it.
Because they're really, even it's going to sound weird, but even for men, they're really good, healthy alternatives to eating cups of pudding. A lot of men like to eat like pudding and gelatin and stuff, but it's a really healthy alternative to that.
Yeah.
I used to love chocolate pudding, but yogurt's more healthier.
We had Aldi in the Netherlands also. Oh, you do? Should try it, Eva. Try the yogurt.
Of course, chocolate pudding's good.
Kevin
It's
likes
just-
Go-Gurt.
I love chocolate mousse.
It's
I think
okay.
Go-Gurt is considered something different, though, ain't it?
Yeah.
It's not even
Kevin's-
classified as like
Kevin's
a.
being kid. Yeah, I'm kidding. It's in their little things. Do you really still eat that? Only one the same as USA, I think. Oh, okay.
Who do we lose?
What do you mean? We lost? I didn't hear anybody go.
Nobody. Everybody's still here.
Did Marco just come in?
No, Marco's been there.
I heard a ding.
I didn't hear any dings.
Yeah. Did you hear a video now?
I did. Somebody dropped out.
I didn't hear anybody drop out.
Me neither. Liza's here.
Yeah, we had 9. Now we have 8.
I didn't hear anybody drop out.
8 little monkeys jumping on the bed.
What fell laughing?
Now I'm being Go-Gurt shamed. Yeah, it is kind of shameful.
I wish I had some yogurt.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Barb. I should say pudding, but chocolate pudding
Pudding.
is what I called it. Yeah, I got in trouble for that sometimes.
So I'm trying to do a felting project.
Just want some pudding.
Gotta find my felting project. There is these. I have to make a felting project.
Sorry, Barb. Just had to share.
What do I want to do? And I never got to. I'm gonna look up a New York Times cookie recipe because I said I was gonna do a New York Times recipe. And I did those shortbread butter cookies. Oh, I've got to check on my kids. Hold on, got to check on my kids today. My kids are on vacation. See how everybody's doing on vacation.
Not necessarily Barb.
Ooh. That looks good. It's really dream. Cupcakes to caviar. Oh my gosh. Yeah. What's that?
Did you do a little dance, Kevin?
I tried to give her a like, and what happened? Shoot. I just was. Oh, that bothers me. Okay, I can't. What was I going here for you? Okay. Let's see.
Some people down here also know how to turn it on and off as well, Bart. The Southern. There's a lot of Southerners know how to turn it on and off.
A lot of what?
And the twang on our language, the way we sound, some of us know how to turn it on and off.
I love that accent.
Like I could just sit in here and talk to y'all and relax and explain everything the way it should be said, but that's not proper.
I love Southern drawl.
Proper is proper. That Southern twang gets me in trouble. It did when I was younger too. Like I would be trying to tell a teacher it wasn't my fault, and she goes, "You need to stop saying fart. You need to stop saying fart in classroom, okay? I've warned you several times about saying fart in front of the other kids." And I said, "No, ma'am, it's not my fault. It's not my fault."
I didn't do it.
It was weird too. I got in trouble. It was weird getting in trouble for something like that because it's really weird. It's like, it's just a word.
But didn't all the kids talk? Wait, didn't you go to school
Not
in the South?
really.
Didn't all the kids didn't have the same
No.
accent?
Not really. A lot of them spoke proper English.
Southern drawl still is proper English.
I just grew up a little bit more countryer.
Oh boy.
I know, Barb.
I thought,
That's
Nicole,
funny.
weren't you? I was surprised you didn't sell any rings or anything tonight. I thought you were going to sell some of that stuff. Nicole still
Nicole
there?
sold a teapot, the Starbucks
Nicole?
thing for 10,
Nicole, are
and
you
one
still
other
there?
thing.
I sold a lot. I sold a bunch of things. I've heard all the little bunnies.
Yeah, but I thought you
Yeah.
were going to sell some jewelry, weren't you?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance because instead of doing what I was supposed to be doing, I was sleeping. I took
Oh.
a nap,
Right.
which was totally. I mean, I know Kevin's gonna go off, but
You're a human being too, Nicole. If you're too tired, you got to get sleep.
well, tell Kevin that.
You can't be on live streams half awake. You can't be
Oh.
pulling video reels.
Oh, talk to the boss then. Talk to the boss.
It was one night I was sitting right here at the computer and Kevin's like, "Video? Video?"
I've fallen asleep reading, and then I've caught myself, especially when
Right.
I'm reading
But
that.
you fall asleep with your eyes open, reading. Like you fall asleep, Carolyn, with your you look like normal, completely normal, like you're awake.
But I fell asleep once doing the Seaver diaries. Oh my gosh, that was so bad.
I had so much fun tonight. That was really fun doing that auction.
I was
It was.
waiting for it.
It was funny. You have to go play her things back because they were hysterical.
Yeah, they were.
They were
Els-
here bidding on her bracelet, right? So then I'm like, okay, so it's 85, and then she was going, Elle's going 90, and I'm like, no, Elle, you don't bid. They have to bid. So then somebody would do it, and she'd be like, 95, and they're like, no, Elle, you don't bid. They're bidding. Okay. Oh my god.
Poor Carolyn.
That was
I
so
love
funny.
it. I love
So
it.
funny.
So much. You have no idea. You have such
I know.
a life.
It's so funny.
It's so nice and refreshing.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody, you know.
It was so funny. Really was. Oh my gosh.
I gotta watch it. I'm gonna do that in a little bit after.
Yeah.
Elle's got this king size bed to lay everything out beautifully on, and she's running around her room.
This beautiful pillow, that furry pillow is so cute.
Right?
Yeah, I have a couple of those. I'll like make my bed all up one day and show you guys when it's all made up. It looks like a hotel bed. It's so beautiful.
No, we're Facebook now. We're Facebook friends, and I saw it, and it was awesome.
Oh, you saw it. Doesn't it look beautiful?
Your bed, yes.
I must say so myself.
Oh, your Facebook friends.
Very nice.
Oh, I see what's going on
I
here.
see. Yeah.
I see what's going on.
Me and you, Karen. You and I are Facebook friends too.
I know, but I'm not Facebook friends with Elle.
Oh, you can Facebook friend me anytime.
Yeah, you gotta add. She would love to add you.
I would love to add you.
You would, if you really loved to, you would have done it before.
Yeah, but she didn't
I
want
didn't know you had a Facebook.
Yeah, she didn't even know.
Oh.
No, I don't
Are
know.
we still using that line from 9 years ago?
I don't know.
Nicole, text me Carolyn's name on Facebook and I'll add her.
Right now.
Okay, please.
If I find out you added Scooter before me,
Oh, Lord have mercy.
that would
Scooter,
really
I
be a
mean-
travesty.
You'll have Scooter jumping out of the tub, hurting all of us.
Travesty for sure.
Not really, Marianne. Not too much comedy. A lot of it was serious about the Alex Murdaugh. It's a pretty mind-boggling case.
All right, I'll check your Facebook Messenger. I sent you what to look up.
Oh, thank
A
you.
little comedy, though. A little
So
comedy.
much.
You're very welcome, Al.
Okay, let me see here.
Hi, Moxie.
Oh, I think she's talking about the auction. No, I think Marianne's talking about the auction.
Oh, that was
It was
definitely
funny.
unique.
Yes, it was funny.
Even
right,
for
Marianne?
me, that was unique because I've been sitting back watching y'all for a while.
What
So that was,
happened?
It
What
was just
happened?
really funny. It was just very funny. It was cute funny, like because especially like when they were bidding, because she kept saying no. I'm like, no, that's Peridot's bid. No, that's
like, let me
Lisa
try
L's
to do
bidding.
it. Ed would be like, okay, I've got these earrings and they're $40, okay? $40, right, y'all? And then Kevin would just be fixing to type and Elle go with 35.
Well, that's what everybody does at the beginning. Remember, we were all doing that when we first started. I was.
And then Carolyn's like, no, Elle, you just said 40. You did just say 40, Elle. It's not 35.
Right.
And then she was like selling a perfume, and then Linda's like 35. I'm like, you can counter it, and then Linda's like 35. And then what you owe me, and then $10, and then you've got shipping, and then I'm just going on and on. I'm like, okay, you can work that out later. Oh my gosh, it's crazy, yeah. But it's fun, yeah. It's fun. I'm like, Linda's doing the bargain shopping there, and I said, and now she's gonna wear that to the vacation and make everybody upset.
Carol, your
No.
sons are so handsome.
Yeah, because what?
Your sons are so handsome.
Oh, thank you. My goodness. So yeah, I don't know. So
So don't forget to add her, Al.
I did already.
Before Scooter.
I
Before.
sent a request. She has to.
Before
Before
Scooter.
Scooter. It's before Scooter, Carolyn. It's before Scooter.
Scooter's
Wow.
not. I didn't hear it. Chat lag was slow tonight. Yeah, true. The chat lag was bad. Mary Warren said yes, very bad.
I'm sorry, Scooter. Please don't send me Chucky images.
Oh gosh, I don't even think Scooter's on anymore. Scooter, are you there? You're not even there, right? I don't think she is. Let me see.
She's probably in the tub and she's probably listening. Scooter,
Yeah.
I just have a feeling.
Da, 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 da,
Feel free to call in, Scooter,
Let me see.
to yell at Video Reel. I'm kidding, Video Reel.
To Scooter. Okay. Now let's see. And Daniel C. Where's Danielle C? Hope
I've
she's
been
in-
wondering that myself. I mean,
What? Oh.
I have to send her a message on my phone.
Everyone must be busy with the new year. They must be hitting the ground rolling this year.
Yeah. Her mother's all right, and then she had to finish her kitchen.
Good night, it's Bink. Rest
Are
well.
you going to bed, It's Bink? Wow. Well, how come It's Bink didn't
That's
get on there?
early.
She said she was on her way home or
It's
something.
3 a.m.
Why? Yeah, but not for It's Bink. It's only 12.
Oh.
Yeah.
it's Pink. How come you weren't on the auction tonight? Wonder.
Oh, did she hit? No way.
What?
I think she came in at the end of the auction.
Yeah, she did, but she wasn't. She said she was on her way home though.
She said she wanted to catch the next one for sure.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought she was. I didn't know. I may
Yeah,
have.
because
It was really fast earlier. Kevin was right. There was a little lag too.
Look, I'm gonna really try to. I'm gonna have a video during the day tomorrow too somehow. But I gotta listen to the trial, so I don't know how I'm gonna do. I don't know how to figure something.
You talked to her yesterday, it's Pink? Yes, we do silent witness. It's a different kind of world.
Okay. Gotta get this. Oh, I
I've
forgot
been
to
like
show
this
my
my
kids
whole
those
life,
shirts
silent
I had to
witness.
get. Oh
Sadly.
my gosh, I've got to write a thing. And I said.
I guess it's sad, I don't know.
I've got to write myself a note here.
Doesn't make me sad, but
It's really bad that I didn't do this.
she was babysitting and then her son took her car.
You don't need your car to get on YouTube, Pink. I need to remember those shirts tomorrow. Can you remind me of that?
I bet they'll look beautiful, Julianne.
Nicole? Nicole's not there anymore. She's.
No, I'm right here. I'm here. I couldn't press the unmute button.
I have to
didn't know
be
it was muted.
reminded. I think I have a 2 p.m. tomorrow appointment, and I have to be reminded of shirts at 6 p.m.
Shirts?
Just say shirts, yeah.
Okay, so you have a 2 p.m. appointment, Carolyn?
I think it's 2 p.m. or it might be 1 p.m. Let me see what time. No, I think it's 1 p.m. Hold, let me just check.
It's
Let me
Pink
look real
said
fast.
yes, it took me a while to get home because I gave my son my car.
Oh, okay.
Nope, silent, I'm not. Not generally speaking. I'm human too, silent, so I'm not always happy either.
Tomorrow is the 26th. Yes, okay, today's the 26th. 1 p.m.
Okay, great. Carolyn, did you say the shirts was for 6 p.m.? Is that correct?
6 p.m., yes. 1 p.m. I've really got to remember that. Crapola.
I'll set an alarm.
That's going to conflict with the trial. That means I'm going to be an hour behind in the trial because I bet you they're going to take their lunch from 12 to 1.
Want to be reminded tomorrow before 1 p.m. What time would you like to be reminded? Like what, 12:30?
Yeah, at least. And then I've really got to make sure I'm on that trial. And then
okay.
That hope they take their lunch from 12 to. I hope they take their lunch at the same time.
I actually have a double alarm set, one at 12:30 p.m. and one at 12:45 p.m.
Okay.
And then I have your 1 p.m. scheduled and your 6 p.m. shirts.
Shirts, yeah.
Is there anything else I can assist you with today, Carolyn?
No, that would be it. Thank you.
Okay, great.
More naps for Nicole.
That's okay. I like naps. I don't sleep normal.
You sound vibrant right now, actually. And that's a good thing, actually.
People sleep like 7 hours a night or 6 hours straight. I don't know what that's like. I wake up like several times a night, like every hour or two. It's weird.
It is weird.
I did, Kevin. I hit it 3 times.
All right, I think we'll
Everyone
go for the
hit
night
that
since
like
we have to do Murdaugh tomorrow, and I've got an appointment and all that good stuff. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. And hope everything was okay. And prayers for all that need. And God bless you guys. Love you. See you tomorrow.
Bye. Hit the like, guys.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Like and subscribe. Cheers.